Welcome back to the channel. On today's video we've got a few issues to sort out. The first one is that we have a toilet that's constantly running. So as you can see, the water's going into the pan, and I'll just take the cistern off. And there we are. So this ball valve is constantly overflowing, and to be honest, it's not even attached. So yeah, got a little bit lucky on this one. So let's isolate the water, pour the toilet forward as the sides here go all the way back against the wall. So I've got no access of getting my hand up around the corner to get anything. We're going to have to pour this whole toilet forward and see what we can do to fix it. So let's put you down, let's get plumbing. So let's turn the water off first, which is underneath here. So just pulled the toilet out, and I don't really want to pull him out any further, and I think I've got enough access here to be able to get him in. So I'm just going to use the hand spanners again. So if he goes on the flex. Oh, trust me, you've got a better angle than I have. I told you got a better view than I have. Right, let's get the ball valve out. Right, so that's the connections all done to the toilet. While we still got him out of place, I'm going to isolate the water on that boiler fix, pray to God that he doesn't leak, turn the water main on, and then I can actually test it locally. Last thing I want to do is turn the water main down on there, find out we've got a problem up here, and it's just spraying everywhere. It's pretty much off anyway, so we'll just make sure. There we go. Turn the water on. Okay, so we've got water up here. Yep. This. Oh, bloody hell. Turn it back on and see if he leaks. Looking good there. Oh, access. What I'll do is obviously test them with him out of place in case we've got a problem, and then I don't have to bring it back out again. So wait for it to shut on. Perfect. I hate these back to wall toilets, they're such a nightmare. Yeah, the only way you can actually plumb them in is on flexes. Right, let's give them a little test. Obviously you didn't fix them down to the floor, so let's scrape up the silicone and fix them back down again. Looks pretty good to me. So that's the silicone all cleaned up, and now we're going to replace it with some X-Pro Brilliant 365, and that should give a nice tooled finish. So that's this job all done, on to the next one. So the next job on the list is I've been called out to fix this kitchen sink tap, and if you look very, very carefully you can see all this like pitting on the chrome, and when you turn the tap on, yeah, I don't think that's really meant to happen, is it? Obviously the water's meant to come out of here, not there. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace it with a more up and over tap, because these ones, they're a little bit too low, can't really get a bucket underneath if you want to wash your cars or anything like that. Underneath the sink unit we have the typical flexi hoses straight down onto isolation valves. I'm pretty sure these are going to be normal ones, so what we're going to have to do is isolate the water, cut these valves out, and we're going to be fitting some flat face ones. Now I know this video's got a few bit of tap jobs in them, but obviously this is a problem that I come across all the time, and what they do is they screw these flexible hoses straight down onto a nut and olive connection, and as you can see here that it's quite a sharp connection here instead of a nice flat face. So yeah, this should help these flexi hoses not leak in the future. So let's turn the water off and let's get plumbing. So I've just took the flexible hose off the old tap, and I just want to show you, I know I keep banging on about this, but when you tighten down onto this type of connection, which is for a nut and olive, if you can see here, I don't know if you can see, but the actual surface area that you're tightening down onto is the very, very edge of the washer. So all this surface area here isn't actually coming in contact with the valve. When you tighten down onto a flat face, because the flat face is further away from the edge, you do compress all down on this surface area. So I know a lot of people always say that they've never ever had a problem, it's just that you're over tightening, but as you saw, it's a very, very small surface area that you're connecting down onto. So always make sure that if you're going to connect down onto an isolator, you don't connect it on a nut and olive connection, you always swap the valve for a flat face. So let's swap these out and fit the correct valve. messing about with stopcocks, always make sure that you give the packing gland a little quarter of a turn. Just like that. That'll stop him from dripping. So that's the tap fully tested. No leaks on the isolation valves on the flat face boiler fixes. So that's this job done. On to the next one. So just turned up at the next job and we've got a leak underneath the kitchen sink. Just open up the cupboard and we've got water all on the base unit, and it's actually coming from this double check valve. So it's coming from right about here. And as this outlet isn't being used, I'm going to cut them off and just cap them off with a soldered cap end. Little bit of a dead leg there. So yeah, we've got a dishwasher here and the washing machines and stuff are all in the utility room. So this is in theory doing nothing. So let's put you down and let's get plumbing. Okay, there we go. Leak and fitting all cut out. Like I said, they're not going to use it anymore, so we just soldered it up. So let's turn the water back on and just test everything before we go. Oh, looks good. So that's this job done. On to the next one. Right, so at this property, I've been called out because we have a leak coming from here. Now I'm pretty sure there's a bathroom above. So let's go up, have a little look and see what's leaking. So above that leaking spot is this basin unit. And as you can see here, we've got a leak coming right from the top of the boiler fix valve. And that is basically because they're attaching flexible hoses straight down onto a nut and olive connection where this should really be a flat face. So let's isolate the water, take it all apart and show you how to fix it. So just turn the water off from here, which is the supply to the blending valve. So that does the hot and the cold around the house. And we'll just go upstairs and open up the taps. Okay, perfect. So it should be good to go and see exactly what's causing this leak. So I just took the flexi off, and as you can see, there's a ridge right here where he's been sat, so that's probably where it's leaking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove those flexis, fit some new ones, and then I'm going to change the isolation valves for actual flat face ones. So yeah, let's crack on. So that's the hot one done, and I'm going to change the cold one as well to suit. So that's the connections all done underneath this basin. Let's turn the water back on and then we can test and see if everything's okay. Right, quick look at the isolators. They all look good. We'll just test the tap. I can try and improve that a little bit. I'll just take the diffuser out. And we'll treat them with a nice new one. So we'll just check underneath and make sure that this leak has stopped. And yeah, it looks pretty good to me. So pretty simple. So sometimes it is a lot easier and simpler than what we think it is. Like I said, this could have been much, much worse if we didn't know what was above. If you liked today's plumbing video, please give it a like, drop a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next one.